Hi everybody, we're going to talk about what's on. So today I'm wearing Pedder Arcade's Model 99. So this is the bespoke tailor we work with in Japan. His Model 99, which is a model that we developed together in a vintage fabric. Really fabulous combination of blues and lighter blues and a little bit of mustard in there. I'm wearing one of the Armoury's sleeveless cardigans in sort of this camel color, a Drake's chambray shirt, a pair of the Army Sport Chinos. This is a new one that I just took for myself. And, it's the natural colored cotton. So it's a little yellow at first, but then as you wash it, it gets more and more white over time. The Armoury's the Armoury's Dwayne loafer, which is our, just our basic penny. And for my wrist check today, because I'm having a little meetup with Cartier collectors, a Cartier Tank Louis Cartier for the European market, platinum with a blue dial. There is lots of stuff I wanted to show you guys today. I'm just wearing this because it's chilly outside, and when it's chilly, I like to break out this sport coat because it's one of my favorite sport coats ever. And obviously in Hong Kong there aren't that many chances to wear it because it doesn't get that cold. But believe me, today is that cold. I'm starting to come down with an actual cold. So first I want to show off, first I want to remind everybody just how many Sport Chinos we have and how interesting that color range is. I mean, as I mentioned before, we have the natural color, and the natural color does wash closer and closer to white as you use it and as you wash it. The natural color comes in flat and in pleat. So the nice thing about the pleated Sport Chinos is that it gives you a little bit more space in the hips. There's actually no difference in the leg. It's really just in the hips. I actually insisted that we do it with two pleats. We had a lot of back and forth on the design team when we were putting these together about whether we should have two pleats on the trouser or not. And personally, I feel like, especially in cotton, where nothing's going to be that crisp anyways, it's quite nice to have both pleats. It's a little bit more comfort because it gives you a little bit more of that accordion effect. But on top of that, it just feels a little bit more casual, a little bit more fun, I suppose. So check them out. Natural in flat and in pleated. And then we still have our classic stone. That will probably never, ever go away, ever. We have this, which actually I keep meaning to grab for myself because this is really nice. This is the khaki that we do. And for instance, like with a sport coat like this, with that little bit of mustard, like the khaki could actually be a really wonderful match. We have the classic olive. Our olive is more like a gray olive. It's relatively faded and subtle. It's not like a green. It goes with a lot of stuff. It's a very handy color to have. Finally, we have the navy. And then we also have a dark brown like that. And beyond the Sport Chino, because all the Sport Chinos do great for us, we do actually have some sort of Sport Chino adjacent products known as the Army Chino. So the Army Chino is very similar to the Sport Chino, except the fabric's a little bit heavier and the stitch details are a little bit more sporty. So what I mean by that is, this is an example of the Army Chino. It comes in a military green, which is quite a bit greener, and I really like this color. I think it's wonderful. The fabric is heavier. The Sport Chinos are about 400. This is about 500. And then we use double stitches on the side seams, whereas on the Sport Chino, we actually only do it with a single stitch, as so, And the reason for this is because we felt like the Army Chino should be less of a tailored sort of trouser and more of a kind of rugged and casual trouser. The leg of the Army Chino is quite a bit straighter. So the Sport Chino does have a bit of taper to it. The Army Chino is much straighter, a little bit of a taper, but not that much. And we do that in green and in beige. This is a nice color too. And, because it's a heavier fabric, like you see the texture of the fabric a little bit more. Like you see the texture of the fabric weave. So that twill effect is a lot more pronounced, which I really like. Okay, next we're going to look at some bags from Porter. Oop, dropping everything. So if you've been following the Hong Kong Instagram, you might have noticed that we are doing a pop-up shop with Porter. It's been a pleasure. It's been very cool to have all these various Porter bags Sam, if you just pan that way for a second, all these various porter bags at the Armoury right now. And we are going to be adding these bags to the New York store early next year as well. I wanted to highlight a few really good ones right now. Because, for instance, this is like one of my favorites, and it gets surprisingly little attention. We call it I like to nickname it the Pirkin, because it's basically that classic Hermes Birkin bag, but made by Porter, hence the Pirkin. So we do it in a couple colors, and we do it in a couple sizes as well. We do it in black, we do it in green, we do it in blue. And this is the small, and this is the medium, and that is the large. Now, personally, the small is obviously a little bit more on the feminine side. Like, that's probably more of a gift for the lady in your life. The medium, I think some guys could get away with. But I've always, for totes on a guy, I've always preferred like a shopping bag tote. But I think the large is very unisex. And actually, like, surprisingly practical. So I think of the large more like how I think of, say, a gym bag, a duffel bag, something like that. Come by and see it. Because I know people are going to be like, oh, that's ridiculous. It looks so strange, but they're quite charming in real life, and the fabrication is really interesting. It's a mixture of canvas and leather. I love the little Porter lock on there. I think that's a really fun touch. And I think it could be a surprisingly practical bag, especially in the large size. Now, one product that we used to do that unfortunately is not available anymore, but we're hoping to bring back in the future, and this is why the Porter pop-up shop has been the prelude to this, is the Traveler's Briefcase. So the Traveler's Briefcase was a collab bag that the Armoury did that was focused on portability, practicality. It was like just the right size. It had a great laptop pocket, lots of little pockets inside. Like, I used to travel with it all the time. I loved it. Unfortunately, it's been out of stock for a while. We can't get them right now. But as I was going through Porter's collection to find what could be a suitable substitute in the meantime, I found this. And I'm really, really pleased with this one. I wanted to just give you guys a closer look. So in the world of Porter, the big parent company, that's Yoshida & Co. And then within Yoshida & Co., there's a sub-brand called Porter. Porter makes stuff like this. A lot of it will be like mixed materials, so it'll be like canvas or nylon with leather or without leather. But then if you go one grade up, they have like an even more premium line called Luggage label. And so this is an example of Luggage label, right? Like, the materials are a little bit more high-end, the hardware is a little bit more high-end. And this is basically a dead ringer in terms of size and proportions to the old Traveler's Briefcase. And it has most of the considerate features that we had on the Traveler's Briefcase as well. So on the Traveler's Briefcase, we just have two patch pockets on the front. This one we just have one big zip pocket, but with many compartments on the front like that. The middle compartment opens all the way up, and it has multiple pockets in there as well, including one zippered one. The back compartment is roomy enough for basically any modern laptop. There's two little bags in there, but it's got a little laptop sleeve pocket in there. And then on the back, there is the zip to use the back compartment. And then there's also another zip at the bottom. So you can slip that over a pair of trolley handles. So super, super, super practical, really well designed. If you want a Traveler's Briefcase, this Luggage label one is probably your best bet as a substitute. The material is also very interesting. It's Scotch guarded leather, so it's a lightweight leather that is water resistant. Unfortunately, it only comes in black, but it's a great briefcase. And so if you're looking for one, something that's lightweight and travels well, or you would like to gift one, please come by and check it out. All right, I'm sorry this was a long one, but I don't know, it's Christmas. I'm excited. I'm happy that people are coming in the store and checking stuff out. Last thing. We are finally completely full here at the Pedder Arcade, as in like all the shops are now have permanent tenants, and man, it's just fun up here. Like the vibe is great, the shops are great. I would like to do a little tour to show you guys like what's actually happening on this floor, and go into some of the other brands in a little bit more detail. I would say Kaneko is something that I just can't stop looking in that shop. The glasses are great. They have like a wonderful setup for testing eyes, and I highly recommend you come and check that out as well. All right, hope you're having a great holiday season. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.